Let's take you to KZN now, where the government officials will visit various schools across the province today to inspect the rollout of school nutrition program. Thousands of pupils were left without food at schools. The SIU also looking into this matter. Let's speak now to Karinda Jagmohan. She is covering this story for us. Karinda, good morning to you. Let's begin perhaps with the most important question, and that is, how is this program being rolled out in the meantime while the officials in government are trying to sort this out? Thousands of children left without food for a number of months.
Certainly, good morning to you. Well, at this point, we're told that the KZN government has reverted to using their old format to ensure that schools are supplied with food. So essentially, they will look at various service providers across KZN's 10 districts that should supply and deliver food to schools. Now, the challenge arose, we know, from when the KZN government decided to give one particular company this 2.4 billion rand tender, that's Casino Retail. But when schools opened last month, many schools were left without food and some schools received rotten food. Now, Casino Retail has since withdrawn from that particular tender or that contract, but they say they want to be paid for services that they say they rendered. However, this matter is now under investigation by the KZN department, but also we understand by the SIU. We have seen a report, a media report, that now says that the SIU has been investigating this particular tender, considering how it was actually handed out, that one single company was given a 2.1 billion rand tender and of course could not withstand the capacity. Remember, these are over 5,000 schools that qualify to receive food through the school nutrition program. Now, as I stand here at the Dickon Glovu Secondary School in Kwandengezi, it's a relatively rural area around me, as you can see. Members of the KZN government are here. The Premier, we're told, will arrive by at least 10 o'clock. But just as you've come to me behind our camera, I just saw a colleague questioning one of the learners whether or not they received any food yet, and we're told no, not at this point. Of course, we need to confirm this. We did see a van here that had the label of the school nutrition program or the graphics of the school nutrition program, but that van left about 5 minutes ago. It's unclear whether they were here to deliver any food, but at this point the one learner we've just spoken to says no, they've not gotten any food as yet. There we go. I'm seeing some rice being delivered now as we see. My colleague Lungelo Zungu will show you. This seems to be rice. I'm not sure what's under this van, but being delivered now at 9 o'clock as we speak. Of course, this must still be cooked then, and it's not the only meal that will be provided. There's other sources of food sources that must come. I see bags of samp as well. That's what I'm seeing on the back of this van here. So this would be then a private service provider that is delivering this food now. And of course, this is one of the schools that we're told from last night that the KZN Premier and various government officials would come to visit. So although we see this van coming here to deliver this food, finally, we still must confirm whether or not food is being delivered across the province. There are various other government officials around some schools today, some in the Ladysmith area, so more inland of KwaZulu-Natal, some in Mgungundlovu, so that's your Pietermaritzburg district as well, and they will all essentially provide an update as to whether or not food has been delivered, whether this is also quality food too. The core of this issue, Oli, is the fact that poverty and unemployment remain a crisis across the country. And in this area that I stand in, which is just about 40 minutes away from the Durban city centre, but still falls under the eThekwini municipality, is a largely rural area. Around me, there are informally built houses as well. Many of the children have to walk here from school, and in many cases, this being a relatively rural area, children or this meal that is provided through the nutrition program is the only meal that a child will have for the day while he or she is at school before going home to have another meal there, if possible at all, because of the financial struggles many families are facing now because of the socio-economic situation we find ourselves in this current time. So that is the biggest concern, is whether or not, in fact, this program that was at one point lauded, it started in KZN, and because of its success was then carried out to other parts of the country. So it was one time lauded because of the impact it had to children, to ensure that they have a meal to focus at school and actually be able to have a proper, a focused school day. But now we find ourselves in a situation where for at least the past month, children have not had food, or they've had rotten food as well. There are various private companies that have come on board through the media, though, to say that they want to assist, to help out. But it's up now to the KZN government to see how they're going to use those offers. Another point of issue that we expect to raise with the KZN Premier when she comes here in the next hour, we hope, is that whether or not, or how the Department of Education is actually going to assist the SIU in their investigations. A very recent report by the Mail and Guardian states that the SIU has had their eye on the specific company or on the specific tender for a while now because of the nature of this tender. But they say they've not gotten assistance from the Department of Education in investigating this. So this is extremely important, considering this is a 2.4 billion, my apologies, a 2.1 billion rand tender that is supposed to help the poorest of the poor across the province, and now this controversy around it. I'll keep you updated in the next hour.
Karinda Jagmohan, thanks indeed. A very comprehensive update.